Welcome to lesson 10.2. In this lesson, we're going to introduce 3 rules for logarithms. And I'll warn you right now, these rules are kind of weird, kind of funky, but it's specifically rules of logarithms. These rules do not work with anything else. They don't work with sines. They don't work with square roots. They don't work with anything. It is specifically logarithmic rules. So the first rule we're going to introduce today is the product rule. And my motto for all of these rules is kind of like a cheesy infomercial where it says, but wait, there's more. That's what these logarithm rules do. They take you from one logarithm and they say, but wait, there's more. And it changes one logarithm into 2 logarithms. That's what all these rules do. They expand the logarithms from 1 to more than 1 logarithm. But wait, there's more. Now, one thing I do want to talk about with this product rule. So this product rule says I can take 2 things that are being multiplied and I can expand them to 2 logarithms that are being added. So, for example, I could do log of 2 times 5, and I can change that to log of 2 plus log of 5. I take these 2 things that are being multiplied, I change it to 2 logs, and I change it to adding. That's our product rule. But a couple things I want to do really carefully. I cannot do log of 2 plus 5 and change it that way. That does not work. I also cannot do log of 2 times log of 5 and change it to log of 2 plus 5. That does not work. You have to have one logarithm that is multiplying, and you expand it to more than one logarithm that are all adding. It's a very specific rule, and you need to be careful about that. The second rule is the quotient rule. So if multiplying changes to addition, then it would make sense that dividing changes into subtraction. So that's your quotient rule. The power rule is the last one, and I think it's probably the weirdest. The power rule says if I have log of 3 squared, I can take that squared, that exponent, and just move it out in front of the log, which is kind of a weird idea. We never take exponents away. We don't really move them, except for logarithms. Logarithms is the only one we can take this exponent and move it out in front. That's our power rule. Now let's take these 3 rules and apply them to our first problem right here. So we're going to start by ignoring the exponents for now. We're going to pretend the exponents aren't even there, and we're going to do those 2 exponents very, very last. We're going to worry about them at the end. So right now I have log, let's move it over, of A. There's my A. Now I think, what is the A doing to the B? Is it adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Well, they are multiplying. So I'm going to change that into adding log B, because that's my rule. I change multiplying into addition, and I have my but wait, there's more, because I have 1 log to more than 1 log. So I have taken care of the A, I've taken care of the B. Now I need to do the C. Well, what is the C doing to the A and the B? Well, it's dividing. Dividing changes into subtraction. So I have minus log C. Now I'm at the end. I'm going to go back to my exponents. I have a 4 and a 5. Remember, the exponents get moved in front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to move it out in front. But I have to ask myself, does this exponent of 4 belong to the A, the B, or the C? Well, this exponent of 4 only belongs to the A, so it's only going to go in front of the A. And now with the 5, that exponent of 5, does it belong to the A, the B, or the C? Well, that 5 only belongs to the C, so I am only going to put it in front of the C. And that actually is my answer. That's it. We're going to skip B for just a second and try C. So I actually want you to pause the video and try C on your own. And keep in mind, these are all being multiplied, and then we have division down here. So be careful with your additions and your subtractions, and then save your exponents until the very end. So try this one out and then come back to check and see how you did. Let's see how you did. So first off, the 2 is multiplying to the W, so that's an addition. The W is multiplying to the H, so that's an addition. This A is dividing, so it's a subtraction. This B, even though it's multiplying to the A, in the big picture, it's still being divided by everything else. So it is also a subtraction. Then I take care of my exponent. The 4 goes in front of the one with the W. The 3 goes in front of the one with the H. The 2 goes in front of the one with the A. And the 5 goes in front of the one with the B. And there we go. Let's try our last example of expanding logarithms. This one's an ln, a natural log, log base e. And this one has one really weird thing. And this root actually comes from a rule of exponents that you learned last year. So there is a rule of exponents, we'll practice it up here, that says if I have a root, I can turn that root into a fraction exponent. And I do that by putting the number inside in the numerator. And I'm actually going to change these colors. There we go. So we can put the number inside in the numerator and put the number outside in the denominator. And those two things are exactly the same. You can take a root and change it into a fraction exponent. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take this root and change it into a fraction exponent. The only problem is I need a number on the inside and a number on the outside, and I don't have those. So let's start out here on this one. If there's no number on our root, you assume that it's a 2, a square root. Second, if there's no number inside, well, I can raise anything to the first power, because anything to the first power is itself. So that doesn't really change it. And now I have a number on the inside, that's my numerator, and a number on the outside, that's my denominator. So a square root is the same thing as raising to the 1/2 power. Those are identical. Now we can do our rules. So remember, for this first step, totally ignore the exponents. We'll come back to the exponents at the end. So we're going to start with ln of m, and m is timesing n, so I'm going to change that to addition, ln of n. Now I'm going to deal with the exponents. I have this 3, and I have this 1/2. Well, the 3 belongs to the m, so it's going to go in front of the m. The 1/2 is a little trickier because that 1/2 actually belongs to both the m and the n because it's outside both of them. So I'm going to take this 1/2 and put it in front of both of them because it belongs to both of them. And anytime you have two numbers in front, you multiply them together. So we'd have 3/2 ln of m plus 1/2 ln of n. And there we go, that's our answer. So that is it for expanding logarithms. In the next video, we're going to go backwards and condense logarithms. Take them from more logarithms down to a single logarithm.